Si kanya chete mene seo mwando senga jokere ntonkwa makaro ndagira noere yo kaimbura noere full time mahitaji ya matumizi garensa tekore ngaji se chinde cheisko.
You hear of witch lynching, that is kissing. You hear of wife battering, that is kissing.
Most of the cases that emanates out of this station are coming from the fact that we have a very big population. Population goes with the crime.
You know, housebreaking, alcohol, you know, assault, land conflict.
Last year alone, Kisii Police Station had excess of 65% of cases that they received being petty crimes. What that tells you is that if we invested a bit more in prevention programs, Kisii Police Station will not be overburdened. The public, the taxpayer, will not pay so much money to support Kisii Police Station.
If we worked on a prevention model that can work, that is functional, then we would be transforming people, looking at what are these opportunities that make people offenders? What are these opportunities that make people victims? And once we deal with that, you realize that even from an early stage, we are not nurturing criminals. We are nurturing responsible citizens.
Usalama Forum is a coalition of experts in issues around largely police reforms as well as public or community safety.
Mtwapa ina mambo mengi mazuri, yategemea wewe uko katika laini yako gani. Ikiwa ni mtu wa kutaka vilabu nini, sehemu nzuri za kulala, umefika. Ukiwa vile ni mwegezaji vile vile wa kufanya biashara iko hapa.
Because of the number of entertainment places, the bars and all those places, there is a lot of proliferation of drugs like cocaine and even like small drugs. They lead people to committing serious offenses.
The model we designed was simple: to go out there, have a discussion with the people that are most at risk of becoming victims of crime or of becoming offenders of crime, you know, in their communities. So we designed what we called a comprehensive safety audit program for the communities.
The safety audit, it's about collecting facts, it's about getting the right information. Because for you to work on issues of crime and violence, you need facts. So many people have been working on this area without facts.
This was the stage of gauging the community's perception on peace and security here. Because we could not come in as Usalama with our own thinking of what safety and security concerned. So the safety audit was to gauge the public perception, to get the understanding what they think is safety and security here.
Once we completed that exercise, we went back to the same communities. And in those communities, we had a validation process. They validated those reports. They confirmed that what we found out were true, but they also found that there were different dimensions that they were not looking at before.
Easily is the center of Nairobi. And you know Nairobi is the center of Kenya, I mean. So Easily is where we have all the businesses. In fact, it's the business center.
There is issue of guns here, the issue of drugs and substance abuse, the issue of school-based violence, and the issues of domestic violence. These are the four key things that inform what is happening within this community.
We have a massive list of problems. We have complex this. Each problem was complex, but we had to design a strategy on how to best start to confront these problems in manageable ways, so that we don't run away and say, oh, we can't do, it's so complex, we can't do anything about it. We designed strategies that narrowed down the problems to manageable levels.
After the safety report was accepted, it was followed by a planning where the people from Kisii were taken to come up with a plan on what can be done so as to address the issues which were brought up in that report.
Remember, at this point, we're also having the police in the discussion. We're having local hospitals in the discussion. We're having local authority officials in these discussions, in addition to community groups, in addition to groups that are really not organized, but they are interested in the safety of their community.
This would be members of the community that if a crime was to happen, or if an offense was to be committed against persons, they are exposed to risk situations.
Risk groups are the groups that perpetuate the violence and that are also likely to be the victims of violence. When I talk, one of the risk groups is the bigger youth constituency here.
Young people who are at the car wash, as an example I'll use here. And these young men have been accused for various things.
Madrugs, unajua hapa ndio kila sio pombe, sio hizi zingine, hapa ndio kana sana.
The easiest way to get people interested is to begin to make economic sense to them. That what we're dealing with has a direct implication on how much gets to their pocket.
So close to a day, someone makes almost around 700 shillings. There are 15 of them there. Let's take 10 of them. Times 700, that's 7,000. 7,000 times you have 10 car washes in this area. That is 70,000 that is made in car washes alone, without tax. But what becomes challenging is that half of these things go to drugs.
We then had to negotiate with them and agree, what can we do? Simple things that they can do to prevent crime. Again, this is important. We are keen on doing small things that cost so little but has massive results.
This workspace of yours, tunataka tukuwe na polisi fulani, kuanzia saa 2 mpaka saa 10 hakuna kulewa.
Unajua, lakini huwezi kataza mtu atiwache kitu fulani wawache saa hiyo. Unamwambia tu pungu. Kama mimi vile forum nilienda, mavijana hapo walikuja wakapunguza story ya pombe. Sasa inabidi mtu wakati wakishamaliza kazi yake ndiye anaenda na
Kerugoya Kagumo is an agricultural area, as you can see.
Business environment, generally it's a good place and it's a home area.
Kagumo especially is an area that had previously had a communal and organized crime. There were illegal gangs. Basically there were Mungiki then, which the community managed to flush them out and kind of throw them out of the community.
Na crime rate at least imereduce kwa kiwango kikubwa. Sababu ni evident kwamba hata area unapotembea ni salama, hatuna robberies, hakuna carjackings, hakuna muggings kwa sababu ya ushirikiano na wananchi.
When we realize that even if you had 1 million of these initiatives in communities, changing lives and making their community safer, it would not be making a lot of sense until you give them a platform to communicate and share their experiences with each other and also their lessons with the government institutions. So a forum had to be created in the communities.
It's a community-shaped forum where everyone is represented.
And the safety forum is to bring these people to dialogue together. The police will be sitting there. The border will be sitting there. Community policing will be sitting there. All these people will be... If there are questions you want to ask, the person is direct there. Ask.
Iko polisi na bantu bapota abalenge muna chingabi. Okoro musikale gali usyo watama. Ono musikale kira goteneni tokonyala gotenese ngenjo no mwereza ta okwabira. Bono okoro ngati gotame sajine no mutuo moyete igogende. Lakini bono iga ndoje nga mabatriko naro make abuto tajiriete nga usalama forum nero ya tokonyire na nene jigo tokonya mono erinde tumanya polisi ne chindugu cheito tubwathira negasi ali na into twanyala ko bawo bisi ke twanyore criminal sekete twaenda sebe twabatega.
Zamani polisi ilikuwa tutachukua kama adui wetu, ambapo sasa ni mmoja wa mshikadau ambaye ilikuwa tushirikiane kuja karibu kusudi tumalize usalama. kwa sababu jambo la usalama si la mtu mmoja, wananchi, mashirika na polisi wenyewe.
This is the first time in Africa that we are seeing a police station partnering with other agencies and communities to produce crime trends reports using actual or real data.
Na napongeza Usalama sababu kwa saa hii ndani ya ofisi yangu kuna kompyuta. Wameleta hiyo kompyuta na hiyo tuna collect data. Kwa mfano kitu ikiwa reported kwa OB, iwe ni robbery case, iwe ni kesi ya muggings ambao watu wanashikwa ama kesi ya aina yote. Tuko na form zao ambazo inatusaidia na kusema huyu ni victim, huyu ni mwenye amereport, alafu tunachukua that information, tunainstall, tunaweka kwa computer na inatusaidia.
Sometimes we could not find the particulars in our records due to the poor filing system that was there. A crime clock assists us to know particularly at what particular time certain offences occur within certain areas. So it has made us to improve our services to the members of the public.
So we produced that system. Now we are working across in 13 police stations across the country. We are implementing this, and the crime clock has proved to be fantastic because the police station is not just seen as an important source of data right now. It's also, the police station has also become a leader in providing crucial information to the communities.
Usalama Forum ni moja ile shirika ambalo kwa kweli tumeshirikiana vizuri kama Mtwapa Community Policing Forum. Kwanza ilitupa mafundisho ya kujua haki zetu, makosa na njia ya kufata. Tuweza kumwambia polisi hapa wenda makosa, hapa wenda sawa, na vile vile imeleta uhusiano wa karibu. Tumekuwa sasa tushirikiana vizuri na polisi na kwamba sisi tuko mbele katika mstari wa kufanya usalama uwe mbele.
Watu wa Usalama Forum na wakati workshop wanapofanya, hiyo inaenda down to wananchi to the smallest level, na wananchi wanakuwa enlightened na they are coming up, na naona security itakuwa sawa sawa, na security itakuwa concern for every and each person ambaye anaishi eneo hiyo.
We had a lot of forums and we have this capacity building. So the first meeting I had, I was seated with the DC for 3 days, with DO and with the OCS plus OCPD, and we built that relationship. From there, I was even able and willing to give more information, more security matters regarding to our community.
If there is no security, there is nothing that can work. If there is no security, then there is no economic empowerment, there is no freedom, you cannot enjoy any rights.
This initiative is quite beneficial to me personally and the community in general, in that if you are safe, you are living in a safe environment, free of crime. We can even implement the 24-hour system where you will work peacefully, your things will be secure, you will have more time to work, and then you can even generate more.
In the next 12 months, we will be doing just one thing, demonstrating that communities can and are actually turning around their situation. They are making life bearable for themselves, and that all they need is facilitation from the government agencies that exist.
And I believe it is a wake-up call for actually people in this area to work with Usalama and to give them support whenever necessary. And maybe in future also we can bring up other stakeholders in the criminal justice system and see the way we can work together.
There are two ways of dealing with malaria. You wait until you have malaria in your blood, then you go to hospital. Or you can do something to prevent having malaria. So you reduce the pressure on the doctor, you reduce the pressure on public health institutions. Coming to security, that's the principle we are looking at here. And when you invest a lot more in prevention, you actually increase community safety, you increase quality of life, and you also increase ability of people to earn livelihood.
chisinilone nana yo nyogona jama yamani alai ame bilo chisinilone ibi ele mongo dola ona kile masabu nyuma dunya bejendi tegele me mongo dola ona kima sabu nyuma dunya bejendi dabe yele la lomino dabe kasi wolonde la dunya bejendi